But who better than me?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Bass Talks with your boy, Bass the Kid. As always, please like and subscribe, share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, any and all in between. It's appreciated. Now, I did this interview with Caroline Dubois on Saturday. I delayed putting it out because I thought I was gonna have an interview with Jaya Patel before his fight, which obviously takes place today, as you guys would have seen by the time this comes out. Timings didn't quite work. Jai messaged me a couple of times. When he messaged me, I was asleep, and then the other times he messaged me, I was at work, and you know the time difference was a little awkward for us to work it out. But we'll do something straight after the fight. So yeah, so that's the only reason I'm putting this one out a little bit later. But yeah, look, I like what I'm hearing from Caroline in the way that she's approaching this fight, and even clearing up some other bits and pieces that you will no doubt hear in the video. So look, I hope you enjoy, and I'll catch you afterwards. This is Bass the Kid, the hardcore casual, and I'm delighted to once again be joined by sweet Caroline Dubois, aka my Capricorn sister, aka the new WBC lightweight champion of the world. Caroline, how are you?
I'm feeling great. A week to go now, and yeah, I'm excited. Excited for fight week, but excited to just enjoy the days counting down. Just try and be present for every day, and yeah.
So how's training gone for this one? Because I would imagine it's a little bit of a different experience. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard of you fighting on specifically your birthday before. I mean, how have you altered things to sort of go through that particular mindset?
Nothing has changed in terms of training. If I was fighting on birthday, on Christmas, on any other day, the goal remains the same, the desire remains the same, the work ethic is the same. The only thing now is, there's a little bit of a celebration. The cake will be a little bit sweeter afterwards.
Nice. So, you're now a champion. So, does the training almost intensify? Do you stick to what's got you here, or is it just a case of maybe to you it maybe just feels a bit more important, like really locking into the sessions?
Yeah, for sure. I would say the work that has gotten me here has gotten me here because I train hard, and I'm just gonna stay consistent with that. I don't like the mindset that people have of, oh, I'm fighting for a 10 rounder, so let me train hard, or I'm fighting for a title, I'm gonna train harder now, or if I'm fighting for whatever, only now am I gonna, like, you should be training hard consistently, regardless of if you're fighting for a world title or not. That's how, like, the elites are made, and that's how the best fighters train. They train the best all the time. And for me, it's not really changing things. It's just about making sure that I'm sharp. And now there's something on the line. Being a world champion comes with a certain level of prestige, and no one wants to lose their belts. And I'm surely not one that wants to lose my belt. I want to keep my belt. I want to be undisputed. I want to be a world champion for as long as I possibly can reign. Um, and that starts January 11th.
Okay. So, right, I want to ask you about the belt because this is going to come up. There'll be many people, throughout the years, we've heard people, oh, this person, well, they're not the true champion. Like they were emailed the belt, they were elevated, they never won it in the ring. Do you hear these kind of talks? Devin Haney was one of the most notorious to be labeled with that a couple times until he obviously proved undisputed.
Yeah.
Even to a lesser extent, I guess Daniel was given that same talk last year when Usyk gave up the IBF title. Someone that did something a little bit different, Sky Nicholson. She was the interim WBC champion at featherweight, but she refused to be elevated. She said, I want to win it in the ring, so I want you to put a vacant title on the line in my next fight. Were there any
Mm.
talks from you or your team about possibly doing something like that, or do you already feel like, look, we already done the work, we deserve this? How did that play out, that conversation?
Well, for this fight, well, the fight before actually against Myra Marino, um, Katie Taylor was scheduled to fight Amanda Serrano, and we knew that that will be at 130. And we thought, educated guess that she wouldn't be coming back down in weight. So we put pressure on her to the WBC to vacate the belt. So my last fight would be for the WBC. Since Myra Marino was the interim world champion for, I would say, a whole year, we thought that she should be given the chance and the honor of having a chance to fight for a world title, and it made sense. Like, Katie hadn't defended the belt in over a year, and Myra Marino had been interim world champion for over a year. So we were putting a lot of pressure for the last fight for me to be a world title fight. Um, we expected, we were hoping, I guess, that Katie would vacate coming up to the weeks, and then we will get the fight. The fight would be a world title. Obviously, that didn't happen. So when I went and fought Myra, I had it in my head that this was a world title fight. Um, I didn't see it as, like an interim fight. I saw it as a world title fight. And when I won, I knew that there would only be one opportunity. I was frustrated because I was like, why are you holding on to the belt? Like, you could have vacated it months ago. We could have fought, got the belt. It was a bit like I didn't understand the mindset of Katie Taylor of holding the belt for so long, especially because she had no intention of coming back down at the weight. It just seemed like a unnecessary, like, fiddle Caroline around, which was just a bit unnecessary. Like, he had no intentions of coming back down. What is this for? Um, so my last fight in my head was a world title fight. Now, obviously, it didn't happen and go the way that we hoped. I got upgraded. But for me, it was never that much of a big deal. Like, I genuinely don't see the big deal about it because I'm not gonna retire. I'm not gonna sail off into the sunset. My career is gonna go on. I'm gonna defend the belt numerous times. I'm gonna unify, as you said, Devin Haney did. I'm hoping I'm gonna try to be undisputed. So, like, this is just one. My foot is in the door now. It doesn't matter how I get in the door. The door is open, and I'm gonna have those big nights. I'm gonna have those hard fought battles and 50-50 fights going in. I'm gonna have them. This isn't the end for me. This is just the beginning. I will get those unifications and those big fights. So I was never really fussed about how I got the belt. For me, it was just about getting the belt.
Okay, no, thank you very much for that because I think myself, I didn't know the full extent of it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching this won't have known that that's the route and the way it kind of went about. So yeah, in that terms, I totally agree. You were vindicated to do it the way you done it, so no
Mm,
problems with that. Okay, so let's talk about the 11th of January. Like we've got Jessica Kamara, very accomplished. She's had some rough decisions in the past. She's also had
yeah,
some comprehensive defeats, but she's a very
yeah.
seasoned professional. Like, what are you expecting? And do you think this will technically be your hardest fight to date?
I don't know. I don't want to put that expectation or even that give her that credit where I don't believe. Maybe this will be my hardest fight to date. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But I know that my fights after Jess are gonna be harder than this. I'm gonna have harder fights than Jessica McCaskill. I mean Jessica Kamara. I'm gonna have bigger challenges. I'm gonna have tougher fights for me going into the fight. They're gonna be harder challenges for me than Jessica Kamara. I see her as game. I see her as tough. This is an opportunity she's worked towards, and so she's gonna come and give everything that she's got to win the belt. But my journey is above her. My level is above her. My ceiling is like 1,000 miles higher than Jessica Kamara, and that's not being disrespectful. I just see her as a step that I need to get over, and I want to get the stoppage. That's how my mentality is. I'm not looking at Jessica Kamara, and I'm not gonna give her the respect that she's tough. Like, I'm better than Jessica Kamara, and I'm gonna show that on January 11th.
Okay, talking spicy. This is what we like to hear. Okay, so in terms of that, I mean, what have you trained specifically for her? Is there anything that you've seen that maybe she does well if you've looked at any of her previous fights, or are you literally just like, look, she's gonna bend to my will. I don't care what she's doing. How are you going about this?
Yeah, I believe that if I prepare 100% diligently and I felt really fit this camp, if I prepare really diligently, do the weight correctly, I'm strong, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I beat Jessica Mara 7 days out of the week, every day on a Sunday. I genuinely do believe that. the best me stops Jessica Kamara, and that's what I'm gonna try and get to, the best Karen de Boer. I don't care about what she brings. I don't care about what she does well and what she doesn't do so well. All I care about is being the best Karen de Boer on the night, and I know that has the ability to stop Jessica Kamara.
Okay, so in terms of, you said if as long as you make the weight correct, and everything, how is the weight loss journey going to, to get into game weight? Are we on track? Are we ahead of schedule? Are we a little behind? Like, because Christmas was
No,
just
of
a
course.
couple weeks ago now. So
No, of course. For me, I say making the weight right, but I just mean doing it disciplined and maintaining discipline throughout. For me, making weight 135 pounds is easy for me, as easy as I can say, with the as being honest as the fact that obviously I have to be disciplined. I have to make sure I'm cutting carbs. Da da da. It is a very, very, very much a doable weight. I've made this weight consistently now for a while, and I've had no problems. I've had no problems with the rehydration. I've had no problems feeling good on the next day. I feel great the next day. So, yeah, everything is good.
okay, so also, Jessica is the WBA gold champion at present. Now, the WBA always seem to have like multiple belts around. However, the
Yeah,
super champ, who was Katie Taylor, it now is showing as vacant on the WBA website. I don't know if
yeah,
she's officially vacated or whatnot, but can you
yeah.
give any notion or any credence to whether or not maybe a vacant WBA title could also be on the line for this one? Do you know if that's on the line, unification?
I don't know, but I do know that politics in boxing are very thick and very deep, and for people like you on the outside, it's easy. Like, a fight should happen, the champion versus champion, the number one versus the number two. It's very easy. If someone hasn't fought for a belt in over a year, vacate the belt or give it to the next person. But when you look at it on an honest level and on a boxing level, when you know boxing, it's very tricky. Like, from the outside looking in, the belt should be vacated. Jessica Kamara should be upgraded because she has been the WBA super champion. Katie Taylor isn't going to come back down to 135, but that's not how boxing works, is it? I don't know what's going to happen. I would like to think that Jessica Kamara gets upgraded. She should be upgraded. She beat the Korean girl in her last fight, which was a good fight. She deserves the opportunity to fight for a world title and be a world champion coming into this fight. But boxing politics may play up again like it did with my Myra Marino fight, where Katie Taylor didn't vacate the belt until like 3 months after, where it was like, what is the point of this? Like, why didn't you just vacate it 3 months ago? So I don't know. I haven't been told anything about whether this fight is going to be a unification. Saying what you're saying, I hope that it is, but I haven't got high expectations on that. I'm just gonna prepare for a good fight and prepare to win. I'm gonna get the belts either way, be it in this fight, the next fight, or the one after. I'm gonna get the belts. It's just a matter of timing, and I'm not gonna be impatient right now.
Okay. Well, I won't, I never disrespect the current opponent by asking about future ones, so we're not going to do that. But what I do want to
Mhm.
ask is just in terms of this year, like you're starting the year strong, like very quick, right at the start of the year. So how, I guess, active, how busy do you want to be this year? How, in your particular mind, how many fights are you hoping to have, and what's the timeline for you?
Yeah, for me, I would be happy with 4 fights this year. There's a all female show heading to the Royal Albert Hall, so I would like to get onto that one. But obviously I have to get through this one first, which I will. And then after that, I got two other fights. If everything goes well, I would love to get this fight out of the way, get a unification in the next one, possibly against the likes of Terry Harper. And then after that, um, I don't know how many belts will be left over, but it would probably be like a Beatrice Ferreira or somebody else. I would love to be undisputed by the end of this year. That's the goal for me, and to have all the belts in my living room would be a nice touch to end the year.
Actually, one last thing just before I let you go. Considering now, obviously in Saudi Arabia, we've broken sort of the female ground, especially with the world titles, with Sky
Yeah,
Nicholson and Raven Chapman. Boxer have a foothold within sort of the Saudi Riyadh season at the minute as well, due to Turkey Al Sheikh. So is maybe one of your goals towards maybe the back end of the year to possibly get onto one of those shows and display your talents on the highest, sort of on that highest scene in that on the grandest stage, maybe in a big unification slash undisputed fight?
Yeah, for sure. I would love to. I feel like the big fights, the best fights, they're all happening in Saudi, either for better or for worse. They all happen over there, and obviously, Sky Nicholson for Raven Chapman in the first female show in the first fight. So you know, the waters have been tested, and they seem to like it. They like female boxing over there, and I don't see why not. Going over there would be awesome for me, and it would be an honor to fight on one of them shows. And if Turkey Al Sheikh is open to it, I'll be ready. It doesn't matter who it is. It would be nice to get a big fight over there against like a Beatrice Ferreira, or I don't know, Alicia Baumgarten over there would be nice. But the stars have to collide, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people gunning for those spots, and there'll be tough spots to get. But if they were open and if there were opportunities, I would definitely be ready to take them.
Okay. Well, look, Caroline, thank you very much for your time. I won't take up any more of it. I do hope that by the time this year is over, when I'm doing my female fighter of the year for 2025, that I can have you at number one. So
Um,
you got some work to do. You got to get
yeah,
in there because it's always stiff competition. But no,
definitely.
look, thank you very much for that. Yes, I won't be able to obviously be at the show, but I will be obviously checking. So best of luck and enjoy the birthday celebrations afterwards. And I will hopefully catch up with you, sometime in the near future.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and yeah, look forward to it.
So yeah, look, appreciate my Capricorn sister as always. The confidence, you can just feel from every interview I've done, there's just been more and more confidence and bravado. I'm here for it as long as it can be backed up. She's spoken about what she wants to do after this fight. You guys know me, I never talk about future opponents, but as far as she's concerned, Jessica is just here in the way, and she just needs to be moved for unifications and undisputeds and big fights. So I guess we'll wait and see. Also, it was appreciated that she did clear up the situation regarding the quote unquote email title, the elevation, which, from the way it was phrased and the way she described it, it makes sense. It doesn't ultimately change that people will still, call her a email champion until she beats someone of note. But this is only the start of her career. Like, she's just about to turn 24. There's many years left to make her mark and to obviously erase any particular notions of being gifted titles or whatever. So look, I'm here for it. Let's see what happens on Saturday, and we'll see what happens moving forward. I'll catch up with her in the future, in the near future. Yeah, but look, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share and leave your comments. So with that being said, that's another Base Talk wrapped, and I'll catch you on the next one. But until then, peace.